And here we are, Mopar Sunday at Willowbank Raceway. We've driven 1,800 Ks just to be here, and it has not been a trouble-free journey. But we are here and we're hoping to run better than 13.95. That is the aim. We've taken out the Chinese coil, put the better coil back in there, bumped a bit more timing into it because we had it set a little bit soft after we replaced the Dizzy at Narrabri. I'm hoping it has everything it needs to beat that time. If it beats it, I'm going to call that a win, even though we still have to get 1,800 Ks home. So anyway, let's join the staging lanes and do what we came here to do. So here we are, lined up for the first run, Mopar Sunday. We're a little bit late to the party, but we're here. I'm not sure we have enough timing in it just yet, but we'll give it a test, see what it does. Might shift it at, we'll say 6. We'll go to 6, try that, see if it's happy. But yeah. If it runs a PB first run, that would be awesome. So the first pass wasn't as great as I'd like. 14.60 at 104.7. We know it's got more in it. I think it actually does need more timing again. It just didn't feel like it had much off the line and certainly down low. So I think I've got to wind a little bit more timing into it. The 60 foot was 2.80. I mean, just slug off the line. The surprising thing was the tacho has now given me a lot more information. I went to shift at 6, didn't want to shift at 6, swung around to like 6,800 before the gearbox went, yeah, now we'll shift. Almost 7 grand out of the little 318. Loves it, loves a rev. But anyway, they also put my tailgate up, which cost me a couple mile an hour and probably some time. So I'm going to try and whip the tailgate off this car because they will not let me run with it down. Don't ask me, I'm just racing here. Right, so a little bit quicker, 14.3 that time. Mile an hour is kind of the same, which is a surprise seeing we have no tailgate, but it really stumbled off the line. 60 foot, 2.71, so a minor improvement, but not very much. I really got to get it past that stumble, and I don't know what it is, but yeah, I tried sort of just giving it a bit off that launch and it just didn't work. So I think this time we just need to try and stall it up hard and just try and get it clear of that stumble so we can get a launch out of it. But yeah, I think we'll get it back into the 13s, but yeah, not doing it that way. So, all right, we'll see how we go. I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit, make another run. So they've closed the staging lanes for the moment. We're gonna have some lunch. And the guys down at the Show and Shine have asked me to go through and have a look at the cars and select a car for the Scotty's Choice Trophy. That's a lot of pressure, so I'm going to have to go through and have a look at a few cars and see which one I like the best. Although this AAR Cuda here is looking very nice. It's going to be tough to beat that. Love the roof. How nice is that? So I've had a wander through the Show and Shine and I found the car that is Scotty's Choice, and it's that grey VC Ute up there. It is just like, it's got a beautiful little small block in it, really nice paint and some nice custom metalwork done to it as well. The interior is just gorgeous. And so I've decided to award that the Scotty's Choice for Mopar Sunday. So with that duty behind us, we're going to head back to the pits, get the ute ready and go out and try and run some rounds in the finals, see if we can back up Mopar Nats. Now I've just put the mocker on me, I'm going out first round. It's just going to happen, isn't it? So here we are, first round of racing, dialed in at 13.95. So if I break out, it's a PB. I'm up against a 14.8 second car, so I've got to chase him, which is kind of a rare thing for me. Someone needs a kick in the ass. We get down into the braking area and there's a car stopped in the braking area. Like, what the hell? That's not right. Well, I'm pretty confident I won that. Crossed the line first, heavily on the brakes. If I broke out on the brakes, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed, because not because I would have done a PB, but because it could have been so much faster. Alright, thank you. Yep, thank you. So that one was a 14.37 at 89.95 mile an hour, but I had to back off heaps. So, yeah, I washed off nearly 16 mile an hour in the deep end to save myself from breaking out, because I really think it would have broken out. So this thing has a number in it. I'm going to keep trying to win. But if I get knocked out, I think they're doing some grudge racing later, and we'll come back and try and run a PB during that. But yeah, let's go more rounds.
does it again. Scotty Taylor, 14:42. Goes on to the next round.
Alright, I'm pretty sure I won that one. It was very close, but right towards the line I got ahead, stabbed the brakes, stabbed the throttle just to stay ahead, and the wind light looked like it was showing in my lane behind me, so yeah, hopefully that's a round 2 victory, and we'll go on to round 3. I didn't have the best of launches that run. It was only a 2.7 60 foot, so slower by 2/10 than the previous run. But, you know, I caught the guy right towards the end, got in front of him, stabbed the brakes a bit, then stabbed the throttle just to make sure I stayed in front cross line first, and got a, yeah, a win. Not a huge win, but a win. So we're round to round 3. Looks like I'm up against that Jeep, which is going to be pretty tough because he's dialed in down to the 100th of the second, so he must be pretty consistent. Jesus. I red lighted. Just too fractionally quick off the beams. Tried to nail that tree and just too fast. However, it did feel like a very good run. Managed to keep it from valve bouncing. Managed to get some clean shifts. So red light, I lose. Oh well. Now to see if we got a PB, because if we got a PB, to me, that's still a win. I red lit.
You got all the million numbers.
Yeah, wow. Oh, 14-0, okay. All right, thank you. Turns out we both red lit, but it comes under the first or worst rule, and I was first to red light, so that puts me out. Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, I didn't red light as much. He red light heaps. He must have seen me move, and he left, and yeah, red lit as well. If it had come down to it, I would have won, because I went through closer to my dial in if he stayed into it, but I don't think he did, because he ran a 13.2 at 95, so he must have backed off. But still, that's my best pass for today, 14.05. Will we do better than that? Not really sure. We're going to have to give it some cool down time, maybe take it around and see if we can get something through the grudge runs in the after the finals. Well, bugger. I red lit. So as soon as I launched, red light come up and I went, ah, crap. So I knew at that point I might as well just stay into it, see if I can get a PB. I didn't. I got a 14.05 at 105. So certainly the best run today. And the other guy, the guy in the other lane with the Jeep, he also red lit, but the rule is first or worst. If you red light first, you're gone. The worst part of that equation is if you cross lanes or something like that. If you cross lanes, you lose, and even if I red light, I would have won. But anyway, it's speculation. So, 14.05, 105, I kind of feel that's the best we're going to get out of it today. I mean, it's done pretty well, but the fact that we melted the dizzy coming up means that all that dyno tuning we did down south has been thrown out the window. So, you know, we're chasing our tail, trying to find power without any information. So without that information, it makes it really hard to improve on our performance. I'm also valve bouncing at the top of first gear at 7,000 RPM. So I've made the executive decision. I've made 5 passes, 3 of them in competition, so 3 rounds of racing. That's pretty good. I've made the executive decision that I've got to drive this thing home. With it valve bouncing so much at the top of first, if it drops a valve, I am done, and I'm done in a big way. So let's take it home, fix a couple things. Like I'm going to have to put a manual shift kit in this thing, just so it makes sure it shifts when I want it to shift, not when it thinks it wants to shift. And then, you know, converter, gears, and let's send it into the 12s doing that, because, man, the mile an hour is there to do it. We just need all the pieces to come together. So anyway, we've done well. We've driven up 1,800 Ks. We've done 5 passes. We got pretty close to a PB, but not quite there. We've had a few dramas. Hopefully we fix those dramas and we'll have a smooth run home. But I've got 1,800 Ks to drive home. And yeah, I want to make it. So we'll call it there. It's done. We'll make some mods to the ute, and you're going to see all that on a future episode of Carnage.